Welcome back to another episode of Critical Affection, where we affectionately criticize the pop culture that we love. Did that have a lag, or was that just me? Because my internet's been doing some weird shit.
Yeah, there was a blank screen for a moment.
Okay, so it wasn't just me. Good to know. All right, I'm your host, Sarah. I'm joined by my co-hosts, Amanda and Brian, and somebody who's vying for another co-host position now, Fred Schwartz. Fred, do you have any cool stuff to tell us about what you're doing there in Fisticuffs land?
Well, I am excited. Fisticuffs, we're closing out late pledges on Friday, and revisions are going to the letter this week. So we're going to have book 3 coming out very soon. And then I just got one of the covers for book 4 yesterday. Looks gorgeous. So lots of cool, exciting stuff ready for the next year.
Awesome. If you want to drop your link in the comments, I'll put it up on the screen for everybody so that you can go, because you said you haven't closed late pledges yet, which means there's still time to get in there and get something.
Yes.
And, sir, you cannot just sit there and yell at me. He's late. He's always late. This guy, I tell you. All right, so tonight, we're talking about Snowpiercer. I don't remember who picked Snowpiercer. Doesn't matter. It was a pretty good movie. I liked it. I mean, I didn't like it, but it was a pretty good movie. It was execution style. All right, there we go. I'll post this in the main chat too, so that it goes to YouTube, because we're on YouTube as well.
Hey.
But everybody go check out Fisticuffs. And you still got a few more days.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And awesome stuff still out there. So, please join back and be ready for book 4, because it's only going to get crazier from here.
I do not know how to... I cannot freaking copy this over here. Oh, well.
All right, it's just going to hide it.
Yeah. That's all I'm just constantly showing and hiding. Yeah. Whatever.
It's a good-looking link. It's pretty.
There, it's nice. It's nice. All right. So, yeah. Go there. And speaking of things to look at here, I do have to show you what we got launching in about a month. And you guys get to see it first. We have not showed this to anybody yet, but y'all watching, you get to see it first. We are... going to just, there it goes. Oh, I love this. I love how this doesn't freaking work. All right. We are launching DateBots. It is, so it's about a guy who sees an ad for a dating robot service and decides he's very lonely and he's gonna try it out. And then, he gets in over his head, I guess. Maybe he was more than he expected. And we'll talk about it more next month. But really gorgeous art by the Zaldivars. I mean, you can't go wrong getting art from the Zaldivars. And Todd Facino wrote this. Oh, thank you, Brian. Brian got us in there.
Is that all you can tell, Sarah? That's such a teasy trailer. You can't give us any more, how it goes wrong?
Well, I didn't say it went wrong.
Oh.
I think he gets in over his head.
With those digital girls, he bit off more than he could chew.
Yes. So, what can we talk about here? What isn't too spoilery? So, DateBot's dating service. The guy's name is Deke. He sees an ad. He responds to the ad, and he orders one of these girls, and then finds out that maybe there's a little more to these than just than just a, you know, it's not just a porn thing. It's not just a sex thing. It's these robots have brains. They can think, I guess. And so he gets a little more than he expected when he decides to do the datebot service. And let's see. I don't know. I mean, you're gonna find out eventually which bot he picks, and I mean the thumbnail should give you a bit of a clue about which robot he dates. Now, I want to make sure y'all know this is not. It's very PG-13 as far as the nudity and the sex scenes and stuff go. This is not one of those spicy books. It's a sexy book. It's not like what we all call spicy books though. And we've got covers by like Omar did a cover and Hedwin did a cover. And if you're familiar with the Zaldivar's art, you probably can tell which one is which in this thumbnail here. And we also got one by someone that I've never used. I've never commissioned from this artist before. Her name's Lizzie Busy on Instagram. And she did this. Can I point it? No. She did that third one where they're standing together, like, but there's no other people there and there's no monsters either. So she did that one. Amazing job. It looks gorgeous. And I already commissioned her for like 3 more covers. So it's really good. She's really good. And a couple of these actually, because the Zaldivars are just really good. They did some nude covers too for these, like some nude variants. So that's fun. Although, again, not one of those books. It's a sexy book. It's not a sex book. And yeah, any other questions that we have about this one? You wanna go follow it? Follow the pre-launch? I'm putting that in the comments as well, because I can't make my hot link work because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna have to get Amanda on the case, I think.
Call IT.
Yep.
Call IT.
All right, so that's a quick little thing for there. I'm not going to talk about that too much because it's going to have its whole own show. Everything is so slow today. I feel like I'm double clicking everything because it's so slow. All right, let me put up the DateBots thing. That's the link that you got to go to, and I'm also going to post it in the comments. Now let's talk about Snowpiercer. So what are like our opening thoughts about this movie? Did we like it? Did we not like it? Let's talk about that. What did we like this book, or did we like this movie? So, Amanda, do you want to start us off here?
Sure. I think that this movie was meant to be gritty and absurd, and that it hands way too much of how things actually work to really land. And as a result, we don't really get invested in the characters or what's happening. So
yeah, that's fair. Brian, what do you think?
Kind of similar. I wish it had been more absurd or more gritty, or just kind of picked a lane. It did many things all right, but it didn't do anything really well.
Mm-hmm. Fred, what do you think?
I second and third what they both said before that. I totally agree. It did not go hard enough one way or the other. I wish I could have been a fly on the wall when they were like conceptualizing this movie. I like to imagine it was like a bunch of people sitting around a table and they were like, all right, we want to tell a story about like, like class conflict, but like, how can we do that in a way that hasn't been done before? And then like, imagine like a long silence, and then somebody raised their hand and was like, horizontally, and somebody was like, yes, that works. Let's just lay it all out horizontally. We'll put the good in the front and the back, and we'll do it that way. So, yeah, in that way, it was kind of trying to be more innovative than it was. And I got some pet peeves about how it achieved that and failed to achieve it, in my opinion, which we'll get to later.
Yes.
But overall, not very impressed. And I think, I remember last week I said when we were talking about this, I was excited to see what I really thought of Bong Joon-ho. Is he like the Parasite filmmaker, or is he like the Mickey 17 guy? And I think he's more the Mickey 17 guy now.
Yeah.
It's funny how like Parasite just seemed to click, and it actually made me really think, like, are there like more like people that maybe just got like one or two films right and kind of had a reputation on that more than they are great filmmakers? I don't know, but
I will say that maybe you need to watch some of his Korean films to
like,
really
which
find out.
ones?
I don't know the names of them off the top of my head. I was reading about him last night, and he definitely has some that he's done in for Korean audiences, and I'm wondering if that will land better.
I
because
saw one of them, I think, if it was The Host, and Host was okay for me too. I liked it, but it wasn't like it was definitely not more Parasite. You know, it was
Right.
more middling for me. And then these are more near the bottom of his
yeah,
filmography
yeah.
for me.
It just seems like the ones that we are liking less are the ones that are more Americanized, more English, and so the Hollywoodization, if you will, has perhaps not worked in favor.
Sure.
And I've seen that happen to filmmakers before, where they like try to come in and, you know, they bring in like an outside idea, or they bring in an outside project, and they try to like, especially with like the Japanese like horror films and stuff, like, you know, they always Americanize those themes and they never land the same.
Yep.
Hey, oh,
Hey,
Dash.
Dash.
Hi, Dash.
Hey,
Dash, have you seen Snowpiercer? We're gonna talk some shit about it in a minute here.
Sarah, what do you think?
I more or less agree with all of you. I feel like they had an idea here that it's been done before, but that doesn't mean they can't do it again. I like they didn't develop anything enough. Like the characters weren't developed enough. Well, then to justify the, like, there was a lot of action, but there wasn't enough action to justify the lack of character development. There was sets, but there wasn't enough to justify the amount of action, you know, like, and you know, rinse and repeat. Like that, it was a good idea. It wasn't like they certainly could have executed it worse. But, and speaking of executing, there were some genuinely harrowing, like really cringy, oh my god, but also I can totally see that happening kind of moments in this, which it's, as I like to call it, Captain America on a train.
Yeah.
We're you, Fred. I think that weirdly, nope, I'm not even gonna finish it. I was gonna say that Captain America was not as developed as a character as Curtis. It's Curtis, right?
It is.
And but like, no, I think Captain America has more backstory, more development than Curtis does.
Well, the backstory of this story comes from 4 graphic novels, French graphic novels.
Yes.
So,
and I think that because there's also a TV show about this, and I
4
feel like
seasons.
they were probably like I've heard that it's amazing, and I was like, you know what, that tracks to me, because 2 hours is not enough time to do all the development that they needed to do in this, but a TV show with a couple of seasons that could do it.
Yeah.
So that was, yeah, I don't dislike the movie, and it was a hard watch because, you know, we're seeing trending go too far in that direction as far as the caste systems and things, but yeah, I feel like they could have done more with it. They should have picked one lane to focus on, and I think they were going for shock value and some other stuff. Like nothing got developed enough for my taste. So, what I would like about this movie. Whoever wants to jump in first.
Yeah, definitely the visuals. They put a lot of effort into making it look gritty where appropriate, so that it would be juxtaposed with the really pretty front cars, and the costumes matched that, and each car had a very unique feel. And it very starkly delineated by the doors, which I thought that worked really well.
Mm-hmm. That takes out the need for some of the story development when they have the visuals doing the, because that's a comic book thing, right? You need the pages to tell a story with the visuals and not just the words, because you have a limited amount of space, and in this case they had only 2 hours. But yeah, yeah, that's a good way to do it visually.
I like the beginning of the movie. Like I feel like it like welcomed you into the world pretty quickly, and like the beginning of the movie didn't like it started to move. It snuck up on me how much I didn't like this movie. Like for a while, I'm like really into it, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of neat. And then you start putting stuff together, and then like a lot of the stuff that you were mentioning, Sarah, rung true for me. Like these didn't feel like characters; they were like caricatures, and I really hate this like kind of trend that we see like in this movie and Mickey 17, another one of his, but like Hunger Games of like the like over the top, lavish, like comical, you know, like rich, evil, like people. Like they're all just these like vapid, like, you know, like they're not really like substantial and stuff. I think it's a unsettling
Yeah.
thing to
Hell
condition
of an
into people.
underuse of Tilda Swinton, if I may say. Like her character could have been so much worse than she was.
Yeah.
And because she makes an excellent bad guy.
Ed Harris too was just wasted.
Why
Played
was
his
Ed
yellow
Harris
heart.
top billed? Like it was like Chris Evans, Tilda Swinton, Ed Harris, and he was barely in the movie. And he was a very forgettable bad guy. We're supposed to be talking about the parts about it that we liked right now.
I was gonna say, yeah. I will say, in defense of that, the part of the characters being shown were meant to be kind of forgettable. That the head person's kind of in their own world, a megalomaniac who's just focused on their thing. That's how the bad guys be. Similarly, the ultra rich do not care about us, and so they aren't as one dimensional as you're thinking, because that is how they be. So there's something for that, at least. And so similarly, Tilda Swinton's character is meant to be the, you know, the supporting evil bad guy that people know about but don't really remember. Like people know about Hitler, but the people under Hitler, who are they? And so I think she dialed that in well, right?
Yeah,
And
that's fair.
yeah, and we got to see, you know, the white women supporting the system, and that was disgustingly accurate.
Yeah.
So
I do think that the ultimate bad guy, you know, the final boss character of Ed Harris being so unremarkable is also very accurate to like there's just, and he believes himself, like, does that sound familiar to anybody? He believes himself to be exceptional in every way, and he's just not. Like, you made one cool thing and now you're just riding the coat, resting on your laurels. How it works.
100%. And apparently, if you watch the series, they address that in an additional way. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I definitely want to see the series after seeing the movie, because I'm like, if they did focus on even one part of this in the series, then they'll have to have done a better job.
Yeah, and it's a prequel, so it talks about the events before. So yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's one of my. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, for the actual positive I was thinking of was just that they did do a certain amount of like foreshadowing decently, like just little things that the characters did that then they revert. You show up later and you realize you can connect the dots for what was happening. That was nice. I actually enjoyed the fake out on the food not being made of human right off the bat. Like, because you knew that's what you were thinking was going to be in there. It was going to be a skull or something, and nope.
Like, yeah, when the one what's her face comes in with the tape measure, I'm like, oh, they're gonna eat those kids. They're absolutely eating those kids. And yeah, I must have said it 5 or 6 times out loud. I'm like, they're definitely gonna eat those kids, right?
Right.
So those kids, like, are they gonna make it in time before the kids get eaten? That's the whole time. But yeah, and like, they don't show any of that, but they sure do talk about it. So
yes,
it's
they do.
The cannibalism. Yeah, I was totally expecting the grinders to be like dead people in it. So I was kind of relieved when they actually showed us what it was.
Not that the kids have much better of a fate, by the way. Like the ending.
Yeah, no. The ending is rough. Like that, and that was like also one of those things. Was like, you know, I hate that. That's probably really close to what would happen in a lot of situations. We have some precedents of history to show us that that's totally a thing that people would revert to, like that kind of chaos.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to point out that Ed Harris tells Curtis, "Hey, you're the first person to walk the entire length of the train, but the kids did first." They're in the.
You're
They were in the
right.
back. They came to the front.
And he didn't, but he didn't
Record
consider.
holders.
He considered the like he pointed out like he considered them parts of the machine. He didn't
Yeah.
think he didn't call them children. He
Yeah, they're
didn't-
cogs. They're not.
Yeah, he didn't consider them people at all.
Well, to
Which-
what you said, Amanda, like I wasn't saying, like, of course, like I think that they definitely have that disconnect where like the lower classes are unimportant. What I was saying was like it's not it's important not to lose like sight of the that they are conscious of that. Like I don't think like I think it's like sometimes comforting to see them as like cartoon characters acting like a lot larger than life and stuff. Like I think it's more important. That's why I almost wish this movie kind of took a more serious tone, right? Because that's something that really goes on in in the world and stuff. And I think evil is more like actively evil, and like they kind of are more comfortable making those decisions. And I think to kind of think of it as like just fools making mistakes is maybe more comforting than we would like it to be. Seeing but I digress. I don't know.
No. It's definitely we're meant to be seeing them as both the everyday evil and then the more like absurd evils that are the extreme examples of what's happening in the society that needs to be destroyed, according to the allegory they are telling us. So yeah, absolutely. And so they were trying, I think, to show all the different aspects, which okay.
But I'll tell you the part that was like the most unsettling is like the propagandized children, like the way that they are so like bitten into the system and shit.
Yes, that was very Big Brother, 1984. Unfortunately, Nazi Germany. We see it today with like North Korea. That's what the information that we receive is that's what they do with their children there, and they're
that's what we do to our children here. Oh,
that
yeah.
is that. Oh, let's treat the flag with more respect than other human beings. I don't like that about us.
I will say this brings up one of the things I didn't like, and that's that the way that they kidnapped the children and took them to the front of the train so very quickly, but then they were complete automatons by the time the adults caught up to them. There's no way. They absolutely did not show anything along the way that would have explained how they were instantly brainwashed into being little cogs. And like if they had set it up earlier, showing like the kids emptying the shit buckets for the people in the back train, then at least we would have had an idea that yes, they were used to having to do hard labor, and so it wasn't that hard to slot in. But they just like the kids were not reacting, they just did the thing. There wasn't enough time to brainwash drug break them to be that way.
I thought that was like there's no way. In like they show the passage of time as to be like a day and a half, maybe 2 days when all that goes down. And like, there's no way that, what was the kid, Andy? The little curly ginger hair boy, Timmy? Yeah.
There's Timmy and Andy.
I thought Timmy was Octavia Spencer's son.
Okay, yes, that was Timmy.
You know what? It doesn't even matter. That's how much it sucks. It doesn't even matter. The one boy, when Chris Evans's character stops the machinery in the train, it triggers some kind of failsafe, which I don't even know what the hell that was. I'm not sure what that was supposed to be. But then the one little boy, the cabinet opens to trigger. Once the failsafe's triggered, he just kind of rolls out and slowly trudges towards this capsule that pops out for him to climb into. And the whole time, Chris Evans is is like shouting at him, Andy, God damn it, Andy, and like there's no way that kid, they set him up, they set up Chris Evans as being like almost revered by everyone in the back of the train, including the children. So there's just like in the space of a couple of days, you're telling me that kid went from idolizing Chris Evans to not even understanding that he was in the same room with him. Like drugs don't do that.
Yeah.
I had another gripe along those lines too, is we didn't see the legend of Chris Evans. Like we heard this backstory and stuff. If you had just showed me that a little bit, like I feel like maybe I would have connected.
Yeah, like a little flashy backy stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
Would have been interesting.
Yeah.
But then they would have had to de-age Chris Evans a little bit. God forbid they just shaved the mustache and beard off, because like that's all it would have taken. Which also, I mean, I know it's not that important, but how did they get his haircut so nice and even when like at no point did they show us that they had power tools back there. Never mind a goddamn hair clippers.
Apparently someone with scissors and a lot of talent.
Apparently.
Sarah, you've seen Captain America, right? They like de-aged him to like compressed him to like 50
They
pounds.
did.
That was a
yeah.
Marvel budget.
But Chris
That-
Evans
yeah,
is
I was gonna say,
malleable. I think he could.
He's got
Well-
range. He's got range.
And they were trying throughout this
Actually
movie to
Clayface.
hide his bulk through more of, just like the shirts and everything else, because he was supposed to be this emaciated person who was living off of food bars in the back and
Yeah.
not look superhero-y. And so they had a hard time with that, apparently.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, they did just making it like dark and grimy in the back of the train there really helped with everybody, because like also like there were a couple of characters that like really fit the mold, but like Octavia Spencer, she's a very she's a full-figured woman. I don't like the label fat because it's a stupid fucking label. So, but like she's very big chested and she's she's a full-figured person, and like in a starvation situation, I don't think that would be happening. And they kept calling the food that they got protein blocks, which would not allow you to store a lot of fat. If that we see that it's made of bugs. It's made out of bugs, and like that bugs eating, even they got 1 or 2 of those every day. Did they just get 1 block every day? I don't quite understand how many blocks of that bug food they got every day, but
Yeah.
it wouldn't be enough. It wouldn't be enough to store enough fat. Like she would also have been much more emaciated. So they had that problem with her and Chris Evans and the guy who's not even important enough. Like he was the second in command. Edward.
Oh, the child.
Oh,
The
yeah.
The old man.
the baby.
Oh, the old
that-
man.
No,
Oh, yeah.
the
and-
old man's John Hurt's character.
Gilliam.
Not
That's
him.
Gilliam.
Yeah, Gilliam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
know. It is like Edgar or something similar.
And then and then they just replace Edgar when Edgar falls. Oh, anyway.
Well, they had a hard time with like the movie, like you were like with the comparison, like the emaciated extras were really emaciated, and like the movie stars were not.
Yeah,
So-
that's the problem. Is like they had the guy who gets the arm thing, the dad, like he fit the bill. Like we just saw lean muscle and not much else on him. And I don't know, maybe they were trying to highlight those by having him be shirtless. And the other characters, like John Hurt's character, John Hurt is a lean guy too, so like having him not be covered with rags would be a good way to do that too. And then like trying to hide the bulk of Chris Evans, the giant hulking mass that is Chris Evans. Even when he's not in Captain America form, right?
Right.
Yeah. Maybe that was their way of like drawing the attention away from him, because it was there were other things with this movie that were bugging me enough that I didn't focus a lot on the fact that Chris Evans was too well fed to be a train tail guy. But
Maybe he never actually gave up eating babies.
a thing that bugged me, at no point, like this train was super freaking long, right? But there's a few pieces or a few cars in the front, towards the front, where we see the food that the front of the train people get. Where are they keeping cows?
We had that
Racks
conversation.
of beef and
Yeah.
chickens. We never saw, and like they had like 10,000 eggs in a wheelbarrow.
Right?
Where did they get those eggs? They had a bunch of chicken carcasses,
Okay.
but I didn't see any live
There
chicken.
were 1,001 cars, and we saw like 5.
Yeah.
So that's where they were. They were in between. They didn't
Okay.
show us the sleeping quarters. They didn't show us, the barn where they kept all the animals. They didn't show us a lot. I still don't know how long it took them to go from the front or from the back to the front, because it only looked like they went through 5 cars. So,
Yeah.
like,
When did they say how many cars were on this train? Like, I didn't remember them
They
telling us.
didn't say.
I don't
like
know
they
that they
just wanted
said
us
it
to
explicitly
do it with
there.
wide shots
They-
where
they-
they were just showing
Yeah, it's
us
just a
and
really long, really long is
that
really what we were
one-
supposed to be thinking. But yeah,
yeah, the action scene where I don't even know, the guy that looked kind of like the crazy guy that was killing everybody, not just the tail
the
people.
tattooed gentleman with
Yeah.
the knife skills. Yes.
Well, no, I don't think it's that guy. That was the guy. He
You
was
mean
a,
like
a
the
train guy.
1980s Hitman?
Yes, him.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
And the train was so long that it was curving around that huge corner,
Yes.
and they were able to shoot at each other, which get the fuck out of here. Why the fuck was that
With
in
a
there?
reflex
That was
sight.
the dumbest fucking scene. I hated that scene. It was such garbage. That's not a thing that happens, okay?
And I'm
like,
not a physics major, but like, wouldn't they only get like one shot off each other when they pass? Like, they were like firing for a while. Like, how are they?
Yeah, like that's
Well,
how
if it's a
physics
continuous
American
arc,
curve.
their position would be relative the same, or it'd be same relative
Depending
to each other.
on how arced and U-turny they were on that curve, maybe, but you'd still be repositioning the gun, and they were just spot on each other the whole
They
time.
had like 20 minutes of just the trains were perfectly lined up. Like, get the fuck out of here with that shit. That is not what happens in real life. Even if that felt like a too sharp of a curve for a train to pull anyway.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
if we just are like, oh, it looked smaller than it was because it's a movie, right? But like, even if you factor that in, they did not have that much time. That is
Right,
that is not how the real world works. And I thought this was supposed to be taking place in the real world.
And
Right.
when did they learn? When did they practice shooting from one moving object to another? Like everything in their life would have been shooting. Well, I guess except for the 17 years before that.
The confines
like-
of that train, yeah.
Yeah, everything since then has been stationary to them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe if they're shooting from one car to another, there's going to be a little swaying. But you're shooting from a moving object going at fast enough to circle the globe once a year.
Yeah,
Things
and then
cooking.
and also like some of the bullets were able to pierce the glass, but not all of them. Which
Hollywood.
that's a physics thing. I guess you can write that off to the angle of the bullets or whatever, but like there were they showed the ice streaming through the bullet holes, which I feel like that's not a thing either. But also, let's pretend it is. There were so many of them, and there's no way, if that glass was strong enough to stop a bullet, there's no way that many bullets got through. I would give him like one bullet got through. Like in the real world, the 80s hitman dude would have been smart enough to know that was a waste of bullets.
Right.
And they had a finite supply of bullets there, so
That's the part that pissed me off, because they were sort of implying that they were firing at the same hole and were good enough to like
Right.
chip away at it. But that is so wasteful of bullets. Just haul your ass up a few cars and then use them for real. That was just a pure drama scene that didn't. Yeah.
it was
Again,
that, like
didn't
they could have
land
used
with how
that
the
for
world
character
worked.
development.
Just a big dick measuring contest in like a movie about a giant train, like one big phallus.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I still like the 1,000 cars. Like even where were the cows, man? Why didn't they show us
They
the
were
cows?
miniature cows, miniature Herefords that were kept.
They showed us the sides of beef.
I know.
I
That's
think
why I was
the
like,
whole
they have
time
to be
I'm going,
miniature
yeah.
cows, and there can only be a few. They did space everything out. It wasn't like it was packed with meat, and I think that was a little more accurate. Like there was
And
like a chicken or two chickens worth between every chicken, and there was just a
Yeah.
few sides. So
Yeah.
clearly they're two
But, like,
cows and a carriage or something.
As somebody who grew up on a farm, I have to say, why would they waste that real estate on fucking cows? No, you raise chickens, you raise poultry, you do not raise cows when you have limited space. And
Correct.
also, they had that aquarium car, which was pretty cool visually. However, why the fuck were there manta rays in there?
They
They
You
are
don't, I
edible.
mean, like, you can eat a manta ray, sure, but that is not an efficient use of that space. There
They
was
don't
so
care
much
about it. It's
in-
decadence.
the space.
It wasn't really aqua farming in there. It was meant to be
That
aquarium.
was an
but they-
aquarium.
right,
It
and
was
that's
right
what it
next
was
to
meant
the
to be.
kids.
And
And
it was
then-
also that was their whole point about the population control having to be just right in there to keep it going. So
Because
it was
they spent too much time making a fucking aquarium. But also, Tilda Swinton's character's like, oh, we can only have fish twice a year, and today is one of those days. But yet you had the like a humongous fucking fish to just gut to intimidate people several
There's only
cars back.
sushi once a year.
yeah, but
But
they
dedicated
didn't
in-
make that into sushi. Why did they even grab that part? Made no sense.
That was
to
a
me.
waste of
I
fish.
assumed that there was some symbolism there and cultural.
Yeah, I
maybe-
thought they were just trying to intimidate because, like,
Well,
also,
yes.
I know fish have blood, but fish don't have that much blood. Like, they were like multiple dudes dipping their blades into the fish and coming out with like dripping with blood. I'm like, that's not how much blood a fish has.
no,
Not
it
even
doesn't
a
look
big
like
fish
that.
did that, which was
No,
like a fucking shark wouldn't have that much blood in him.
I also was frustrated by like, I mean, maybe it's just the logic part of my brain, but like the size of the cars, like I felt like they were not large enough to have the stuff going on in them that they did. Like the nightclub car seemed like maximum occupancy of like 50 people. Like, I mean, these are not, I don't know. It just didn't feel like the world was as big as the train implied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just from a practical standpoint. Like, I know they were trying to show the incredible class division in this and all, but like, if like, why are we trusting this dude if he doesn't even know how to properly maximize efficiency in a train like this? Like, why are we trusting him to lead us?
Because he's keeping the rich people happy.
Shit.
And he does it with fancy fish that you can look at and eat, and dance parties where you can go get STIs. And
eventually the population control thing where they just go and slaughter 3/4 of the train, the tail car people. Like, that's only going to work for so many decades, y'all. Like, that was not quite 20 years, not quite 2 decades, and they had there was at least 3 revolts that
they were already out of bullets.
Yeah, and like they were out of that, like they were so they were so low on bullets that they just kept them for like the real. They actually didn't break the bullets out until because they were supposed to, the bridge that your senior bridge, that was where they were supposed to have put down the revolt, and then Curtis apparently had the bright idea of like, let's bring lights with us. Like, which also, why the hell didn't you think about that before you left the fucking tail car? Bro, you knew that the train was dark. Come on. You lived in the dark
section. 16
section.
times previously.
Right? Yeah. And then, so like, they weren't expecting that he would know what fire is. So that one was like, what? But then, so like, they had to break into their bullet stash. Yeah, there was a lot. Like, if you don't look too closely at any of that stuff, then it's a pretty cool movie. And like, I like the concept of the movie. I don't dislike the movie. The execution was somewhat poor, but like, I don't dislike the movie.
Yes.
As much as I'm talking shit about it, but that's what we do.
If they'd have gone more absurdist, I think that would have covered some of the sin.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, start veering a little more into the metamagical, not just having like the girl who is clairvoyant, but also have like other people doing things that are a little off to like cover some of the weirdness that's happening would have been an interesting choice.
Yeah, the girl that was clairvoyant didn't need to be there at all. Like, she didn't need to be clairvoyant. She absolutely, like, she contributed nothing.
She found the kid under the floor. There was no way
which was the pivotal change for him to realize that absolute power corrupts absolutely, and thus he wasn't going to do it.
That's fair, but they could have brought that in another way. That's literally the only contribution she made. Like,
well, she was
kind of comical too.
I mean, she is also the innocent that gets to leave the train with the other innocent, indicating that, you know, the people not tainted as much by society are now emerging, going off to create a whole new, better version of society now that they've wrecked the bad one that's all classist and bullshit.
Yeah, and that's fucking dumb too, because you know they aren't the only 2 that survived that crash. Come on.
Right, that's
absolutely
not the only 2 that survived the crash, and also that polar bear just spotted them. They're dead.
They're dead.
It's like 100%. That polar bear is probably hungry, because what the fuck is a polar bear doing up in the mountains? That's not where polar bears live.
Well, also, with the weird Arctic shift that's happening, the polar bears probably were various places.
Yeah, I can forget.
That was a healthy polar bear. That was not a skinny polar bear. So there is more ecosystem out there.
Yeah, that was like right off the bat when they like right at the beginning of the movie, they're talking about how all the life is extinct, and I was like, no, did you never see Jurassic Park? And like at least 4 times during this movie, I was like, the world isn't dead because life finds a way. There's no fucking way everything's dead. Get the fuck out of here. I've said fuck so many times when just talking about
You didn't even quote Wall-E.
There's just so much. Like, there's just so much. Like, that there's bacteria and lichens that can survive in the tundra. There's no way nothing is alive. Mm-hmm. And they had supposedly very smart people working on this train. They should have known that. Like, it's just ridiculous to think that nothing survived except what's on that train.
True, but at the same time, if they started putting the word out, then people would want to leave the train. And that couldn't be. They needed all of the people in their ecosystem in order to maintain their class society the way they wanted.
I don't understand the need to be torturing the tail car people. Like, what was the point of that? Just for fun? Is that what that was? Like,
No.
I'm so confused about that part. Like, I mean, it does really, like, it does reflect the cruelty of, like, us. We, like,
As I mentioned,
humans.
they
are
should have
cruel.
showed the tail people working.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like, why did they keep the tail people around? They weren't working. They weren't contributing in any way, and they were just there to be called leeches and freeloaders and you know, like, what did the girl call lazy mud something something? Yeah, like they literally, they not only that they wouldn't do anything, because everybody wants to have a purpose. Like, there's not that many people out there that you're gonna find that don't want purpose in life in the real world. But then these people are just trying to survive in a tail
Well,
car.
Wasn't the reason that they were in the tail car was to like repopulate and keep spawning children small enough to replace the parts?
Yes,
It's
although
hard to
that didn't
recently
start right
say.
away. So initially it was
Yeah.
just a population control thing, and they are workers. They are being pulled forward to do various bits of work. So and they have their own society essentially in the back class as well, where they're supporting each other as well as doing the forward work when they disappear.
Yeah.
It's I guess one part jobs commentary as well as the immigrants don't do work.
Yeah.
They're lazy stereotype, which what?
Well, they didn't, at the end of the movie with Curtis's monologue, he says they didn't have time to be grateful because they talked about, like, the front car people talk about how ungrateful the back car people are, and it's like and then Curtis says, well, we didn't have time to be grateful because immediately the shit hit the fan, and then a month later they show up with the protein blocks.
Right.
I guess they needed that month to grow that many bugs to start feeding these people. I don't know.
To perfect the recipe.
Pretty much.
How do you, like, it's tough to turn bugs into like a perfectly smooth jello like that.
Will it blend?
How much would it take for you to eat one of those? Each of you.
I'm a vegetarian and no.
Oh,
I mean, that's vegetarian.
well, I've eaten weirder shit than
Oh, that
cockroaches.
is not vegetarian.
Insects don't
Yeah,
count
no,
as
They are
insects.
part of the animal kingdom, yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair.
Bugs
I didn't
are,
know
yeah.
that.
I would definitely consider bugs to be, you know, meat in as much sense as you can say that. But yeah, like, I've eaten way weirder stuff than that, so
I definitely have
let's
a price, but it would
ate a
depend
fish's
who's asking.
eyeball for $10. But I was
Really?
like 14 years old, so cut me some
Wow.
slack. It was smoked fish eyeball, so
Brian, what about you?
I definitely have a price, but it would depend who's asking. If somebody's like, "Hey, you want to be in this prank show? We'll give you
Yeah, that's
$200 to eat this," and be like, "Make it $250." But if it's just like one of my friends being like, "Hey, we got these disgusting protein bars that are totally made from bug slurry. Do you want to bite?" I'd be like, "Yeah, let's do this on 3, everyone."
yeah, well, and like
Depends who's asking.
there's do you know the Ask a Mortician YouTuber Caitlin Doty? She did a 3-part series about cannibalism, like human cannibalism, and wherein she I think it was, she talked about the Donner Party, and her camera person asked her, "Would you eat a person?" And she said, "Right now, no. But ask me again after a week or two of no food. Maybe my answer would change, you know." And I was like, I think it would take me more than a week to consider eating people. But bugs?
Magic number, Sarah. Let's find out.
What's my magic number for eating people?
Tune into Critical Affection in 3 weeks' time, and we're going to see if Sarah.
We talked
eat
about eating
more.
bugs. Now on to round 2.
Yeah, no,
the
to be
stakes are
fair,
doubled.
I have eaten bugs before. They're, you know, they're like weird candy and shit that people, like in those exotic boxes, yeah, and like they'll put like there's like praline, and not cockroaches, some kind of beetle. But
Crickets.
yeah, like
Yeah,
I
crickets,
like.
scorpions.
I mean, I will because I don't wanna be that snooty, I guess. I'm like, it's not about, it's like Amanda has your standard of you don't eat animals, and a bug is an animal, and I have my standard of like, I can't be, other cultures eat bugs regularly, and like I can't sit here and go, that's disgusting. I don't know unless I eat the bug. So
Right.
I'm absolutely gonna eat the bug at least once, and then I'll
Beetles,
tell you
shrimp,
if I think
lobster,
it's
they're all
gross.
arthropods.
That's true. Yeah, lobster is the most delicious
Yeah,
bug
we've
I've
eaten
ever
bugs.
had.
I've eaten bugs.
Can I just say that it was weird that Curtis and the rest of them were squicked out by the fact that it was bugs in there after they had been eating people?
Right? And not just like people, like he specifically says he knows babies taste best, and he was fully prepared to eat a baby, and then like you're like grossed out by bugs? Really?
It's squishy, ew. Like, yeah.
I mean, yeah, I would be shocked too, but like I wouldn't be. He like literally covered his mouth and retched and like he was gonna hold back vomit, and I was like, really?
He
So
just
that-
draws the line somewhere
Yes.
else. He's like, okay, how far down the animal kingdom am I willing to go? And be like, because people are way at the top, so they're fair game, but bugs, I draw the line there. I draw the line. Anything less than a chipmunk for me.
Yeah,
I wonder if it was some sort of underhanded commentary on like the people who are like, you must eat red meat every day or you'll die. And if you told them, yes, you should have some, barbecued worms, they would just be vomiting everywhere.
maybe.
I'll eat nothing without hooves or toes. I met a dude like that. Straight up. Like he would not eat the baked potato. He would eat steak and nothing but steak.
And did he end up with like scurvy or anything?
I
'Cause
didn't.
that's how you
I knew
get
him for like a
scurvy.
day.
Oh, yeah, like he definitely went to he was the one that surprised the doctor one day by having a disease that hasn't really been common since the 1600s.
Yeah,
Like,
you've got
specifically
measles
sailors.
and scurvy.
Yeah, like that's
Easily preventable.
Well, measles is back, so I mean, it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a certain type of folk who get measles. Well, there's a certain type of people who have parents who are a certain type of people.
That's very true.
I'm lumping anti-vaxxers in with the flat earthers.
Oh,
There is overlap, unfortunately.
Yep.
yeah.
Fuck them all.
Yeah.
I don't want to scare away any audience members, but
Yeah, like so
if you're doing that, fuck you.
if we're when somebody comes up to you, so I'm asking this question of all of you guys before we get to any quiz stuff.
Mhm.
Somebody comes up and says, "Hey, I heard you watch Snowpiercer. What'd you think? Should I watch it?" What are you gonna tell them? What do you think, Fred?
I would ask them a question back, like, what kind of movies do you like? Are you looking for something to like stimulate your brain? And then you talk to them for a few minutes and you're like, oh, this may stimulate their brain. But if it's like somebody that like, I'm like a diehard, I would recommend it to like somebody that's like a diehard film fan that's like really looking for something. If they came in, if they wanted, they're like, hey, I love Parasite. What else does he make? I wouldn't say, hey, this is like Parasite level.
Okay. And then on a scale of like 1 to 5 of your personal movie tastes, 5 being a great movie and 1 being a piece of shit, where does it fall? You can use decimals.
3 to 4.
3 to 4? Okay, fair. Brian, how about you? What would you
I
tell
would
about
ask
Fast
them
and
if they liked Brazil by Terry Gilliam.
Oh, I was like, you mean the country? What the fuck does that have?
Have you been to South America? Because if so, here's a trend. No, Terry Gilliam's film Brazil. I saw some similarities, and
I've
kind
got
of-
to get rid of this font. Is that not a terrible font for this? It's horrible. It's not the worst one on there, but I thought it would be nicer than it is. Okay, yes, sorry. Carry on.
So if they're a fan of Brazil and that kind of movie, then yeah, they'd probably dig it because it's got higher production value than Brazil, and
Okay.
it's got a more modern take. I would give it 2.125 out of 5.
Okay.
That's 2 1/8.
I feel like now I'm gonna have to like ask you to explain the decimal here because
1/8.
yeah, Fred's in here with like a 4 to a 5, and then you're like why that?
Definitely not 2.5, maybe 2 1/4, but half of a quarter. So
Okay.
2 1/8.
Okay, fair enough.
That's my logic.
Amanda, if somebody asks you if they should watch this movie, what are you gonna tell them?
I also would want to know a little bit about their particular taste in movies before going so far. But basically, it would be summed up as, well, if you like very visually interesting vignettes that have a disappointing non-ending, then this is a movie you should watch.
Do love to be disappointed.
Absolutely.
Love
1
a
to
good
5.
Only into
5's an
edging.
amazing movie. 1's a piece of shit. What are we giving it?
It's like a 2. There's so many ways that it could be improved. It's not a piece of shit. Again, it had a lot of things that we did like or found intriguing. We were disappointed, and that's always sad. So if we could see some things different and maybe they had restructured a little, I think we would have all enjoyed it more.
Did you put a number in there? Did I miss the number?
Oh yeah, I said 2.
Okay, so I'm trying to get us an average here.
Well, to be fair, I think you gave me a 1 to 10, Amanda a 1 to 5, and I think Brian was rated on an A to F. So
I thought I said
No, it was 1 to 5 for all of us.
I thought
Oh, was
I
it?
gave you a 1 to 5.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I thought it was 1
I
to
was
10.
doing 1 to
Oh,
5.
No. So on
I
a
was
1
just
to
going
5,
way
what do you
into the weeds
consider?
with
What's
Brad.
from 1 to
1
5?
to 5, 2. If you were like, I typically do letterboxed. I would say this is like a 1.5 to 2 stars for me.
And then Amanda said 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I'm gonna say like I'm good. If somebody asks me if they should watch this movie, I'm gonna be like, well, I liked it, but I also would not watch it again. I guess if you know me, then you know that means watch it if you're bored and you got nothing better to do. But don't like seek it out. You don't have to seek it out. It's not good enough to spend, like, if you've only got a couple hours a week to watch a movie, don't waste your couple hours on this one. You can reserve it for the TV show, but
Maybe the rating system should be see it in theater, willing to pay for it full price on streaming, willing to watch it free on streaming, or waiting until it goes to Tubi for free with ads.
well, I'm gonna wait for it to be free all the time.
That's
And then
I
there's
don't
gotta
know.
be just like, no, don't.
Yes, and
Watch
then
it on
there's, of course,
Tubi,
also
and then
this-
there's the
don't watch it.
find riff tracks if you
Oh,
hate yourself.
I
There
suppose
are
maybe-
Rift Tracks is a good one.
right?
there we go.
That's at
Yes.
the bottom.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell people, like, if you've got time for more, like, if you've got time for several movies a week in your life, like, yeah, maybe. I mean, it does have some really good parts. But like Amanda, you said the ending really sucked. Like, it was so disappointing.
It felt like a Jurassic Park ending. Like I would have preferred a dinosaur instead of a polar bear. Like,
Yeah. I was hoping for some kind of, like, you froze the whole world, you said everything was dead. Why did we not get some kind of weird mutant
a woolly
freak?
mammoth.
A Yeti.
That would have been so much cooler.
Yeti.
A machine gun wielding Yeti who's like chasing caribou.
Okay, that would
like, polar bears
fall
are cool,
into
but
more
like,
the absurd side. Yeah,
Yes.
no, we weren't going to get a mastodon or anything. It's been 18 years, not 18,000.
If those kids could lose their identity in about half an hour, like,
That's true. That's
this world
true.
moves fast.
true.
Must be some sort of time portal.
Yeah, and I am going to be a little more generous with my number score than you guys and give it a 3, which means that with everybody, assuming I did my maths correctly, this movie gets a 2.282. So,
Glad my numbers could make it all fucky.
yes, that was absolutely 100% you.
The extra percentage goes for Tilda Swinton's prosthetic.
True. Yeah, was there a point to that?
She was
by
solidly the
way?
1/8.
Was there a point to the pulling the teeth out and
They were
Like, I-
garish.
She was going for a deliberate look. Apparently, the director had to rein her in. She wanted to be really, really bad, worse, and more
I
extreme.
believe that.
He made
But, like,
the
why
wrong
did she
choice.
why did she pull her
I
teeth
am
out when
Tilda
she
Swinton. I
was
want to do
trying to
something. How much money do you need?
Yeah, she was trying to show that she was completely meek and helpless and couldn't hurt him, and so she pulls out her fake teeth. I didn't
Yeah.
understand that.
She literally defanged herself.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
is not. That is it was just weird. It was. I mean,
Correct.
It was just weird. It was weird.
That describes
Right.
several scenes. Several scenes.
All right. Do we have
You
a
know, to
quiz?
answer your earlier
Yeah.
question, I would say if somebody asked you if you wanted to see the movie, I would say watch Brazil or something else instead. Like, that's like more along the lines, but a
Awesome.
little better.
Okay. Yeah. I have not seen Brazil, I don't think. Because, yeah, I was the one sitting here going, why would you care about Brazil if you wanted to watch this movie?
Because it's
Yes,
going to be a state soon.
I have not seen Brazil. Should I watch it?
Yes. I recommend just about any Terry Gilliam movie. Some of
Okay.
his stuff are among my favorites. So you let me know. Well, let Brian know. He brought it up. But next
Awesome.
week.
I didn't like it though. I don't like Terry Gilliam movies.
You don't? Oh, I love Terry Gilliam.
Good.
I do.
Glad we got some contrast.
All right.
Fisher King is one of my favorites. Like, that's a tearjerker. Anyway, digress. Watch
Well,
Fisher
if you
King.
recommend
I
it for
heard
a
it
future
coming.
show, I
Oh,
will
there
watch
it is. I found it.
All right. It's quiz time. I have written the quiz. And if anybody is out there who can hear us who wants to play along, they can go to play.blookit.com and then enter in the game ID of 907332. That'll get you into the quiz. It's a 10-question quiz with 4 answers. It'll provide the first question and then show you the answers. The first person who slaps in the fastest and the most correct gets the point. So it's based both on time and correctness for how well you will do, which is has led to Brian being cruelly
cheater.
favored because of his fastness and dexterity. So Sarah is always on a vendetta to beat him.
I'm like, 2 stickers. 2 stickers to anybody who can beat Brian. Oh, stickers. While you guys
Oh,
are
yeah.
tapping it, let's look at that real quick. Sticker.
Yeah.
Now I reserve the right to refine this, because I'm not gonna. I gotta send everybody their stickers yet. I'm so behind, but this is how far I got on a sticker,
Nice.
and it doesn't look half bad.
I dig it.
I'm not like what?
I dig it.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, like it's not as refined as I'd like, but I kind of liked how it came out,
Mhm.
and I felt that none of these characters were so important as to be worthy of being the sticker. So I was like, well, like we don't even get to see the train, that like the front of the train, we don't get to see that much. So I did have to Google around and find an image of the front of the train, and I'm pretty sure most of the images that I saw were actually from the TV show, not from the movie. But
But still, that
I
works.
felt like the name of
Show
it is
shots.
Snowpiercer. The train itself is Snowpiercer. Like it's the eponymous train.
Mhm.
Like, I was like, fuck it, we're doing the train.
Yeah,
Heck
yeah,
yeah.
that works. It gives me just a slight hint of with the little light at the top of anglerfish, which is an interesting concept for it.
It could, like, you could make the connection there. You totally could. Yeah. I mean, I think that, again, I bet once they, like, if they did a sequel to Snowpiercer, they would find that there actually were little weird little settlements, little pockets of humanity
Oh yeah.
that absolutely survived. Just like not everybody died in the train crash, except for like the girl and the boy, the young woman and the little boy. They are not the only 2 people who survived that crash. Fucking
Yeah.
Chris Evans possibly survived that crash, although he would have been badly burned and probably wouldn't survive eventually. But like
The
Come on.
blood loss would have gotten him.
somebody
But
besides
somebody
those
else.
2 definitely survived.
Yeah.
But yeah, like there's no way there aren't little pockets of humanity all around. And we didn't even talk about how unrealistic this whole shooting chemicals into the sky and making the whole world freeze is, but that's
Work for the Matrix.
I mean,
this
there
point, it's
there
true.
is some scientific evidence for seeding the clouds to do some things.
yeah,
That
it's
is something that's
expensive
been
and it doesn't.
discussed. Well, not for making rain, but for changing the atmosphere. And there's some theory that it would work. So they just kind of took that theory and ran to the extreme of it really didn't work in the worst way possible.
Yeah, which
They took
that
the
ladder I was
natural
able to
progression
handle.
of, hey, this might work. Let's dump it all into the atmosphere and hope for the best. Oh, we did too much.
That's what I was like. We were watching the things go by. And it's like this was gonna affect the entire world. We all knew that. Y'all needed to coordinate better and start small. There was no reason to dump as much as you had, and like it just the entire events of this movie could have been avoided if
All right.
somebody just listened to a nerd. Okay.
No, this is probably because someone was using metric and someone was using standard.
Ooh, suck in America.
Exactly what would happen. Oh, fucking NASA.
Right. All right. Let's
Yes.
do a quiz.
Let's.
Right.
Brian, right? Brian got it first.
Yeah.
Of course, Brian got it first.
But
By
like
a fraction of
just
a
a
second.
fraction there.
Very
Eye
small.
blink.
My brain buffered for the longest time on that one. So I was out.
It's okay.
I feel like Sarah should be first on this one.
Yeah, but I'm not because I can't. I'm almost certainly not because I took too long to read it because I was like, the fuck does that mean? What? Yeah, and then it was like, oh yeah, that's what it means. Yeah.
Fred did.
I
that
should have
day.
though. Absolutely, I'm very stuck on the where are the cows.
Those were some long answers.
You guys, where are the cows?
Where are the cows?
Well, I saw half of one.
And what are they doing with all of the cow shit? And how are they getting enough food into the cows? Cows eat a lot, y'all.
Yeah.
A lot.
And they only had the
Toot a
one
lot.
garden car.
That we saw. Again, 1,000
True.
freaking cars.
Stupid.
The recreational garden.
So impractical.
Yeah, and there's a difference between, I don't want to say the answer, but there's a difference between flammable and explosive.
Correct. Massively misspelled. It didn't catch it. That sucked. There's always one.
In your face, Brian.
Oh,
Ah,
I got one, sir.
oop, nope.
Fucking shit. I don't. Fuck!
Hit the wrong button.
what was it? Y-O-N-A? Or was
It's-
there?
it was
Was there one or
Yona.
two O's?
It did. I thought I was thinking of the dad though. I was like, the dad. He's a kingmaker. Where the fuck is that answer?
No. Oh my god, I am so bad at clicking right now.
Yeah, the it's
counting
too
on it.
much sometimes, isn't it? Like I just really want to get first, and then I fuck up.
Yes.
Wow. 27 milliseconds.
Don't know the difference between clairvoyant and telepathic either, which is a problem.
I saw telepathic and I clicked it, and then I saw clairvoyant afterwards. I knew I
Yeah.
screwed up.
Oh man,
Yeah,
Wonka Train.
That would have been
That's
so
our
much.
sequel.
That would have been so much more devastating. Like you see the shit that he did in just his factory. That would have been
Right?
so much more devastating.
Let's put it on wheels.
Right? God damn it. Going too slow.
The Glacier Banger.
So, fun fact, the Polar Prince is an actual icebreaker ship that's out there.
Nice.
Really?
Yep.
Is that one that was out there for the Titanic saving thing, the Titanic sub thing?
I don't know. I'm not sure which ones were involved.
Something Prince. It was something Prince.
Oh my god.
Oh, what a surprise! Brian won.
What a surprise.
What surprise.
It's
You were
just a
beating me there
matter
for a while.
reading faster. Well, that's still like nobody gets 2 stickers. Brian gets a sticker.
Well done,
Next
guys.
time.
So
Well done, everyone.
yes, well done, Brian. I'm gonna
Yep.
get you next time. Actually,
time
you're
I'll,
not playing next time because you're writing the quiz next week, ain't you?
Hey, what am I writing a quiz
Yeah.
for?
I don't
Tell
know.
us about next week, Sarah.
God damn it. You know what? I knew it too. Like I knew it right up until you said that. I'm pulling up the schedule now.
That's why I'm still in like psych out mode for the quiz. I'm like, all right, gotta scramble everyone else's brain.
What's the
So
question?
before I put on there, what I want to do, so I'm gonna try real hard to keep up with the stickers this year. And what I want to do to hold myself accountable and take y'all with me is I'm going to arrange the stickers on the 8.5 by 11 sheet is what I'm going to print these all on. And I'm going to arrange them all because when I get a full sheet, then I will print and cut and mail when I get a full sheet. So I'm going to show, so this next, this week, we just have, for this year, we just have Snowpiercer, but next week we're going to put Snowpiercer on this thing with the others. So that's what I want to do. And I really hope that I don't fall behind. So
I have some questions about vinyl cutters for after the show.
We are not doing these on vinyl. I love you all, but I cannot afford vinyl. You get really cool paper that's laminated. It's really nice paper and really nice lamination, but that's what you get for these
I have a
prices.
question about vinyl cutter, the machine, not
Oh, perfect.
vinyl,
Yes, I can
the
answer
material.
some questions on that. Next week, we are going to have Ed and Dash back, and probably Fred too.
If you'll have
Because
me.
we're going to watch and talk about K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yes.
Which, why didn't we do this one already? It's such a cute movie. I don't, we'll save our opinions for next week, except that, if you don't like this movie, what's up? What's up? Who hurt you? Come tell us about why you don't like the movie next week. Yeah, no, I definitely have things to talk about with this movie. So, and Ed and Dash are coming back because it is a musical. There are songs in this, and therefore it is worthy of being covered on First Impressions with Ed and Dash too. So we are going to be next Monday. We are going to be here with Ed and Dash, and then that next Wednesday, we're going to be there with them talking about the songs.
It just clicked that I'm writing the quiz for K-pop Demon Hunters, and I'm so happy about that.
Demon Humpers, what?
I mumbled.
You mumbled, indeed.
It was such an unfortunate moment.
Carry over from the Glacier Humper,
Oh,
whatever the ship was called.
yeah, there's no way that could go wrong, right? Brian writing the quiz is
No.
I got some
always
Rule
a-
32 in my eye there. My bad.
I'm gonna study just so I can put up a better showing.
right. That's just so that we don't scare anybody who might be watching this and want to tune in for the next one. Brian's just a wild card. There's nothing. He doesn't write really obscure, shitty questions. He's just a bit of a wild card. So you got to think outside the box when you take one of Brian's quizzes.
There's a 50-50 shot. There's going to be a question about
You got to
everything
do that.
in
To
there.
be fair, you got to do that with Amanda's quizzes too. Sometimes,
I was
this
gonna
particular
say.
one. This particular one, not so much, but sometimes she'll just throw one in there and it'll just fuck you up. And then it destroys your performance the entire rest of the quiz.
My favorite is when there's more than one right answer.
Yes,
I
that
love
always and the nice thing about that is you only have to choose one right answer because the quiz is gonna mark you as correct then, but that's the ones that make you your brain just screeches to a halt and you're just wait a minute. This is a
Amanda
trick, right?
questions were like that evil high school teacher because you look at him quick and you're like, ooh, I see that, recognize that spelling kind of, but then you look at it a second time and it's totally wrong.
Yep.
It was a good quiz. Good quiz.
I had an English teacher who was the opposite. She would show the class how smart she was by making the quiz all elevated mind and shit. So
That sounds super fun.
oh, look how big words I use. Fuck.
This is that kind of
11th
teacher is why I have trust issues today and why I'm always waiting for some fucking twist to come when I'm watching these movies and shows. Where's the twist? I'm waiting, and then now you've got the newer trend, the more recent trend of just spoon feeding everything to us in the course of a movie and not letting us guess any of it. And now I'm well, he didn't specific like at the end of the movie, I was like. Gilliam himself did not specifically say, "Oh yeah, I've been working with Wilfred all along, so maybe he wasn't." I'm that's what all this shit is doing to my brain. It's obviously he was working with them, but anyway. I'm gonna calm down now.
So expect a fucky quiz.
Yes.
It's the short term.
Yes, again, not bad, just out of the box. I think we're all capable of that, of the weird
Super.
questions.
Oh yeah.
I've been phoning it in for the last couple of months, I think. The quizzes are always good, but they're good quizzes. You're challenging people, but also I wasn't getting creative with it for a bit there. So I'm gonna have to step up my game. So Yeah, go follow Datebots. It's gonna be a good book. It's a very pretty book. It's a sexy book. Go do the thing.
And go find
And-
your next bout of fisticuffs.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
the links are in here. So like, yeah, if you're watching on Facebook, there's a link there too. So go click that, click it on YouTube, do the thing.
Do the thing.
Do the right thing.
You know the thing. Do the thing.
And then, yeah, oh shit. Yeah, the Datebots, like,
Mhm.
I'll get a better link up there. We'll get a better link up there eventually. But, yeah. Have a good night. We'll
Have a
see you
good
next
night.
week. I don't think there's any other shows. Oh, Four Tails is back. You're gonna have to watch that on Four Tails channel, but because we're no longer going to be on Agents anymore. So like, this is it. This is what you get. But go watch Four Tails because Kyron and Danny are fun. And yeah, have a good night. We'll see you next week, I hope. And yeah, that's it. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.